Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Oldbarn Homestead channel. My name is Gary, and oh, check it out. This is what we're into today. Jonathan is the buyer of this table, and he's coming from North Carolina. I think he's already on his way, and he's going to be here all day Sunday. We're going to do some training and then get his table loaded up so he can get on his way back home with it. But this is long overdue, getting this thing cleaned out. And so I've just been getting the water drained off of it. And, you know, obviously there's so much stuff in it that you can't really drain it from the bottom through the drain. So I used a shop vac to get it out of there. And I think it took about 3 or 4 fill-ups with that to get the water down. So now I've got my scrap bin. I'm going to get all these scraps out of here, and anything that's, you know, usable scrap I'm going to throw in here. Of course, some of these pieces, like 1/4-inch pieces that are in there, I'll actually use those for projects or whatever. I've got a bunch of those laying around. So, but all the just little sheet metal offcuts that are just junk, I'll get those in the scrap bin here. And then I've started taking the slats out, and somebody had mentioned, I think it was True Cut, said that you can flip these over. So I got one of them out of there and over here on the bench, and so I'm just going to take them and take my scraping burr and knock the you know, some of the barnacles off of it. You can see they come off there pretty easy, and then we'll flip them over and get them back in here. And that'll last Jonathan a while. You know, he can get a few months of service out of it. Get him started with a fairly fresh table. We'll just get everything kind of cleaned up a little bit. You know, I don't know if there's much you can do about the just this smoked up look. You know, I mean, it's everyone I've ever seen in production, they all kind of look that way. I think the one thing that might really help is, you know, this is powder coated, which is pretty nice, but it's got a, you know, kind of a texture to it, and it's kind of a matte or a flat finish, and I don't know that that really lends itself very well to keeping it clean. So what would be cool is if it had automotive clear coat on it, and this doesn't get hot, you know, there's no heat on this, but it just does the smoke blow up from it that, you know, kind of stains everything. So anyway, I think the table overall, I mean, if you look at it like down here, it's like factory powder coating. It looks good, no issues with it. It's just up here where all that smoky stuff, a few areas have flaked off the powder coat, you know, where trying to get a big sheet onto it and kind of scuff it or whatever. But it's a year, well, actually it's over a year old, and there's, let's see, I would say about 300 to 400 hours of cutting on it, which in the grand scheme of things is, you know, is not a lot. I mean, that would come out to, I mean, if you're a worker and you work 8 hours a day, there's roughly 1,950 work hours in a year. So this table as a worker has been working like 1 to 2 days a week, you know, if you think of it that way. So, you know, it's not a production table, and it's about right. You know, I use it 3 to 4 days a week, but maybe just an hour here or maybe a couple hours, or, you know, sometimes I do get big jobs in that it's running solid for a while, and there have been weeks at a time, you know, a whole week go by and I don't even turn it on. So working on other stuff. But anyway, we're getting this cleaned up for Jonathan. He's going to be here, and we're going to get him trained up. So let me keep working on it and see if I can start getting some of this stuff out of it now. And I'll come back and show you when I make some progress. I'm going to kind of go a section at a time, you know, and remove all the stuff out of it, and then start putting the slats back in as I go. And then, yeah, so that's what we're doing here today. All right, making a little progress here, and you can see we're down to the original factory powder coating there, and so it's cleaning up pretty good, and pretty pleased that, you know, this thing's sitting under water, completely submerged, and under what is that, about 1.25 inch thick soup down in the bottom of there, and the powder coating looks, you know, wherever the water's not there, you can see it looks like new. And flipping some of those over, and that's going pretty good, getting those flipped over, cleaning them up a little bit, putting them back in. So a little bit done and a lot to do. All right, well, made a pretty big mess getting it all clean, but I got some of the mess cleaned up. And this floor, I don't mop it, you know, I just sweep it up, try to keep it clean. If something spills on it, I try to just wipe it up real quick so I don't ever have to mop. But this time I'm gonna have to mop. This is got black stuff everywhere. Anyway, it's you know, it's pretty good. All cleaned out of there. Slats are all flipped over. There's the drain. Okay. So, yep, that's it. Jonathan's on his way by the time probably he's seeing this, so we'll see him on Sunday. And we'll get this one out of here. And my new table is ready, and I'm going to be going next weekend to Arkansas to get that. So, not Arkansas, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee. Anyway, guys, I made a video on this channel in a few days, so thought I would just give you an update. I had some stuff that I was painting over here. Not really much else to show. A couple things I shipped out, and this thing turned out pretty cool. In certain lights, like in the camera, it looks kind of modeled up, you know, the way the candy went on. But when you just look at it in person, you don't actually see that. Anyway, I'm gonna make a video on this paint job. Kind of a cool looking color to it. All right, guys, that'll be a wrap on this one.